Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Lit Was by Ankita. I'm Ankita and we do gather here to discuss Indian English literature. In last video, we talked about nativization and English as instructional language in India. So yeah, we got to know that how English established. We also got to know that how English became mandatory language in India, how Britishers made plan for against us, against our prior language, and so on. So yeah, let's take a step further again and let's go to Teli. So what is Teli? Teli means teaching English literature in India. So yeah, from today's blog, we'll got to know that how English literature began in India. So this is also must thing to know. Let's start with historical context. As in last video, I told you that historical context is very important. Why? Because if you are not aware of historical context of the question of the topic, so it's not better to understand. So that we'll get to know about historical context fast. Okay. So, in historical context, the first is colonial era. The formal teaching of English literature in India began during the British colonial period. The introduction of English education was largely driven by the policies of British officials like Thomas Babington Macaulay, whose Minute on Education 1835 advocated for the promotion of English as the medium of instruction. This led to the establishment of English literature as a key component of the curriculum in Indian schools and university, with an emphasis on British literature, British literary work. Exactly, Britishers came with policies, so that we have to we have to follow them, because we were not aware that they are not developing us, they were using us and we were not aware. Because when we started learning English and we involved in that, then we got to know that they are using us, they are not developing us, they are not our well wishers and all. They were not. Okay, so the next point is post independence era. In post-independence era, curriculum development. After gaining independence in 1947, India began to rethink and revise its educational system, including the curriculum for English literature. The post-independence period saw a shift towards including a broader range of texts that reflect India's own rich literary heritage and its diverse culture landscape. This involved incorporating works by Indian authors writing in English such as R.K. Narayan, Mulk Raj Anand, Raja Rao, alongside traditional British literature. So what does that mean? That simply means that after post-independent era, major writers got to know that what is the importance of Indian literature. They wrote about Indian mythology. They also wrote about Indian ethics. Raja Rao, R.K. Narayan, we can see their work like Kantapura, because it is all written on the serious condition of a fictional village, that is Kantapura, which is related to Britishers and their colonial period. So Kantapura is totally based on that. When you read it, you will get to know that how interesting Kantapura is. Okay, so that period, that these major writers used all of these allegory, they made it milestone, they did it very well. So yeah, the next point, let's go to the next point, that is Indianization of English studies. Scholars and educators emphasize the need to adapt English literature studies to better reflect Indian context and experiences. These included exploring themes of colonialism, post-colonial identity, and the complexities of Indian society. Balanced curriculum that include a regional literature and translation of significant work from Indian language. Yes, let's talk about translations, because they also translated many works, like write a work in French language and they translated into English, in simple English, which a common man can understand about that. So, or also we should know about Munshi Premchand, if you are aware of him, because Munshi Premchand, whenever he used to write, he always used to convey that energy that people can do anything for their freedom. Means they can fight, they can just plotting anything they can in a positive way, because his work used to be very strong. and very point to point. Premchand works are very important. Okay, so third one is contemporary trends. Globalization. The globalization of education has had a significant impact on the teaching of English literature in India. This has led to the inclusion of a wider array of global literary voices and perspectives, exposing students to diverse literary tradition and fostering a more inclusive understanding of literature. Contemporary syllabi often include post-colonial literature, world literature, and texts from various culture backgrounds. So what does that point? The point says that if you talk about globalization, obviously our English language was the globalized language, as we can see now as well. So the globalized language can connect to any of the culture, means through English we got to know European languages, European works. Okay, so by that we got to know their traditions, their ethics, whatever the things were. Also we can say that post-colonial literature, world literature takes various cultural backgrounds. So many things were connecting by the English language, which was globalized on that time, right? Still also. So next is technological integration. The advent of digital technology has revolutionized the way literature is taught and studied. Online resources, digital libraries and multimedia tools provide students with access to a vast array of text and critical materials. Virtual classrooms and e-learning platforms facilities interactive and engaging learning experience. The point says that technology we have developed is now essential for us because we are totally dependent on that. Because of that technology, we are getting resources from another place to here. Means we can look for libraries, we can look for e-books, we can use multimedia tools. By that we are connecting our literature works through the technology, so it is now easier to us. It is also a part of tele, because here we are talking about teaching literature, English literature in India. Okay, so this is also important part. I am sharing with you some stages. Okay, so next is interdisciplinary approaches. Modern pedagogical approaches often emphasize the interdisciplinary nature of literature. Literature is increasingly being studied in conjunction with history, sociology, philosophy, and cultural studies. This holistic approach helps students gain a deeper understanding of the social, cultural, and historical context of literary works. Okay, so next one is challenges which we have faced. Very important point it is. Challenges. We face challenge in language and proficiency. One of the significant challenges in teaching English literature in India is the varying levels of English proficiency among students. While some students have a strong command of the language, other may struggle with basics comprehension. Teachers need to employ strategies to bridge these gaps and ensure that all students can engage with the text meaningfully. Obviously, exactly ditto we can see now as well, because some students are having very good command on English, because their reading comprehension, their understanding, their speaking are very good. They maybe uses phrases, idioms, they are using vocabularies which will enhance their structures as well. But some students are not aware of these things. They may be struggling with their pronunciations, they may be struggling with their structures. Anything can be, because the language is always a language, we can't be perfect in that. So the next one is relevance and representation. Another challenge is making the curriculum relevant to contemporary Indian society. This involves selecting texts that resonate with students' experiences and cultural background. There is also a growing demand for greater representation of marginalized voices and perspective in the curriculum. This point elaborating that this challenge we still facing this challenge, because society were trying to contract with the culture, with the chapters, with the Western culture, because we do struggle with our contrast between our both Indian and Western. We are still facing this challenge because after established English in India, India is continuously following their culture, because their culture is just behind the language. People are just drawing to their culture, their language. They're looking for better opportunity to adapt everything. So the struggle is we are trying to contract, we are trying to context with the culture of Western and Indian. So the point is saying this. Next one is future directions, inclusively and diversity. Moving forward, there is a strong emphasis on creating a more inclusive and diverse curriculum. This includes incorporation text by women, Dalit writers, LGBTQ authors, and others marginalized groups, decolonizing the syllabus, and addressing issues of power, privilege, and identity are key priorities, because these were the perspectives for our futures. Because we were struggling with freedom, we were struggling with separations, so many tensions, war were there. So we need to, and we had to focus on these things: power, privilege, identity, key points, because we lost our identity as well. So we had to focus on these things. Another one is innovative pedagogies. The future of English literature education in India lies in adopting innovative teaching methodologies. Experiential learning, project-based learning, and the use of multimedia resources can enhance students' engagement and comprehension. Collaborative projects and peer-to-peer learning opportunities can also foster a more interactive and participatory classroom environment. These are the pedagogies we can use while learning English, which can help us to remove all the obstacles we are facing, right? So next one is critical thinking and analysis. This is very important thing while learning anything. Emphasizing critical thinking and analytical skill is essential to literature education. Encouraging students to question, interpret, and critically engage with text helps develop their ability to think independently and articulate their perspective effectively. This point is showing that how critical thinking and analytical thinking is important for every student, because this can be the thing which encourage us, which can be clarify the things to us, which can develop our ability to think, researching or researching everything. This is important thing. As I said, that these are the things which is important for student or the person who is learning. Okay, so let's time to discuss conclusion now. The teaching of English literature in India is a dynamic and evolving field. It seeks to balance global literary tradition with local relevance, fostering an appreciation to the richness and diversity of literary expressions. By addressing challenges and embracing innovative approaches, educators can create a more inclusive, engaging, and meaningful learning experience for students. Yes, I definitely agree with the point, because educators can show the right path to the students by these things. Okay, so yeah, this is for today's lecture. I hope you understand what the tele means, what the tele importance, what is the tele refers to. Okay, so this is the only important things which I think I should share with you. So I have discussed all the stages which I thought is important, the future aspect, the historical context, the middle things as well. So what tele refers to, or do you think that Rajmohan was right? Means it was important to establish English in India, or we were okay with our literature? So please comment below what do you think, and what do you prefer is more effective, English literature or Indian literature? Okay, so that is all for today. I hope you like the video. So please like the video, subscribe the channel, and yeah, stay connected, stay healthy. Bye bye.